Hey guys, what's up? So it's a weekend. No one's probably going to get this, but I had to make a video on it because it was heartbreaking. This video puts Jimmy Dore in tears. And I think the world should see this because you can't hear just statistics. Because even though statistics sound bad, you have to see the statistics, not just hear it to really feel the horrors going on in this war where everyone's basically coddling Israel for stuff that they're offensively doing. So I want you to take a look at this. Sorry about the hat, by the way. I took the kids to some Christmas stuff. But anyways, take a look at this video. It's really heartbreaking.
It felt a little bit weird even filming anything. But in the end, we decided it was important because, what the hell? What the hell? All these kids with their limbs blown off. This little girl looked just like my goddaughter. With no fingers, one hand and no fingers. Like, is she in Hamas? There are tens of thousands of those. And again, look, there's so-called collateral damage in war, I guess. Look at the pictures of Gaza. It's not collateral damage. They flattened the place. They could take it. And now they're trying to force the people into other countries, including ours, including the United States. Not only do we have to pay for the war, but also take in all the survivors. No. Why do we have anything to do with this?
So Tucker Carlson went to Qatar, or do you say Qatar, or Qatar? I like Qatar. And guess what he did? So you have to turn the volume up on this one. It's pretty low. So he visited refugees from Gaza. Want to watch? Let's watch a little bit.
Most of them are
Just a heads up. This is a very heartbreaking part. This is, oh God, I can't take it, but you have to see it just to understand how deep this goes and how much it's hurting people.
who come as a due to war Gaza. Most of them needs children with special needs, or they are.
How many have two parents?
You're telling me the beautiful little girl without even fingers to even play with that phone that she was holding, that's not the first page of every news story in the world? I'm sorry, the poor Israelites, whatever, they're the victims, not the beautiful girls who have their fingers cut off or legs and all that. This is disgusting.
I was 50 years old. My friends were like the same age. أنا حامل الأول يا دكتور إبراهيم. أنا ما بديش حاجة.
تتكلم إنجليزي ولا ترجمة؟
Yeah. When come back and inside and when inside.
I'm sure Israel. First of all, that was hard to watch.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
That was really
Unbelievable.
So I'm sure Israel's going to defend themselves by saying, "What are you complaining about? We didn't bomb that building yet." Because they already bombed inside Qatar. We know that.
Okay, so I probably should have said this first. Tucker visited Qatar, Qatar. That's where these a few thousand basically victims and refugees, the Palestinians, went for medical care and stuff, since the United States turned them away, even though it was their money that did this. But so that's where Tucker's at right now, Qatar, and interviewing a lot of these victims. I'm very impressed that he did that. It's amazing.
when they were having peace negotiations, they tried to kill all the people negotiating a peace deal. That's what Israel does. They're psychopaths. So here's Glenn Green. Tucker just visited a camp for Gazan refugees in Qatar, spending time with children who are now amputees and otherwise mangled due to the U.S.-financed destruction of Gaza by Israel. He came away speaking the way any decent person, by definition, would speak. And when people describe cuisine as decent, it means it's not up to par. But when that word gets applied to people, those people are infinitely better than the ones who claim to be superior. Not everyone in the world is decent. So here is decent Tucker Carlson talking about this.
For over 2 years, Israel has murdered tens of thousands of children on purpose and then locked the doors of Gaza, shot dozens and dozens and dozens of journalists so no one can film what's happening, and just leveled the place so they can move the people out and take it. What's the justification for that? What's the excuse? Well, of course, there isn't one. And so the other day we thought, for the first time, we would go see what this looks like. And so there is, maybe it's one of the reasons they hate Qatar. The government of Qatar has taken in about 2,000 refugees from Gaza. They actually can't get any more because Israel won't let them out. But there was a period at the beginning of the bombing campaign in Gaza where some people did get out. And the government of Qatar said, okay, we'll take in these Palestinians from Gaza and we will treat their injuries, especially the children. We'll take the kids. So they live in a compound in Doha, and we went over there just to see it in between other things that we were doing. People we were talking to, people we were interviewing, and just thought we should go see that. So we didn't bring like a regular camera.
Jimmy, he's speeding up the Tucker part, just so you know.
Cameraman Kyle, who's really talented, has an iPhone, because we didn't want to stick a camera in people's faces and like exploit the suffering of others to make a point. We were not even planning on putting this on the air. But it was so distressing. It was so shocking to see children, many of them orphaned without any family at all. All their siblings have been killed. No parents have been killed, or their parents are stuck in Gaza and Israeli won't let them out. Kids with no limbs, many with mangled faces, a child with a mangled face. But there are 4 of us, okay? Me and my business partner, who I've known my whole life, and 2 producers who we've worked with for many, many years. And these are guys who've really been around like everywhere and seen other wars and seen a lot of injuries and kind of hard to rattle. And by the time I get out of there, it was just 4 middle-aged men staring at the floor trying not to cry. Here's part of what it looked like.
Well, we've already seen this part. So, look, I could play more video, but I think you got the message. The message is clear. So whenever you see anyone online trying to sell you something, oh, Hamas is doing it, they're using them as shields or whatever you want to say, you can just remember this video and know that there's nothing on this planet that would justify doing this. These beautiful little kids. Nothing. I don't give a shit. There's no collateral damage when there's humans out there. And anytime you hear a Zionist say, oh, and try to like Ben Shapiro or anyone, Mike Huckabee, that low life, and anybody justifying anything going on, you remember this video. So you know what side of history. You know, they always say that. Are you on the right side of history? Well, there's nothing in my lexicon that could ever justify seeing any beautiful kids like that hurt. So you should share this video with everybody. I mean, this is disgusting. And shame on Israel for doing this kind of shit. And shame on the government, the U.S. government, pretending to be Christian. They're always Christian until they're not, you know? Yeah, like as if God's like, they have a good PR company that's going to convince God that everything's okay. According to them, everything's Jesus or God. Okay, well, let's see how everything ends up. Look at Fat Mike Johnson enjoying his corruptness, the so-called Christian. Spread this. Let everyone know. This is disgusting. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.